Yeah, cities are an abomination. Um, you know, I told you guys a few weeks ago about how, the Bible talks about cities as an abomination, and Sodom and Gomorrah was I believe was the I don't know if it was the first example of how God felt about a city, but that's why you can compare Sodom and Gomorrah to a lot of things that's going on in most cities today. Now, some cities are not as bad as the others. I'm not saying that I don't like living in any city. Some are a lot bad than others. But you know, just to get down to the basics, human beings are not meant to be living like all close up on each other, and that's why this whole American dream, we know it's a nightmare. I mean, I told you all the time. I talk about this all the time, and I say stuff that I don't even think the average person really like looks at on a daily basis. Some people can think I'm exaggerating, but when you really look at it, you know what I'm saying is right. Now, a couple of nights ago, I talked about how the thing that most people would think makes them comfortable actually is not comfortable at all. You are programmed. Somebody told you what your comfort is supposed to be. You don't actually, most of us never knew actually how to be comfortable. Actually, we let somebody else fluff our pillow. We didn't fluff our own pillow. Somebody else fluff our pillow. So I was telling y'all how God has to get your mind. He has to train you like how to. He has to train you how to fluff your pillow. You like, I thought I knew how to fluff my own pillow, and it's like, nah, no, you don't. Somebody else is fluffing your pillow. See, that's why you weren't comfortable. You never were comfortable. There's houses right up next to houses. That's not living. Okay? That's not a house being right next to a house, front, back, side to side. That's not being comfortable. You see what I'm saying? That's not being comfortable. I can't imagine living in a house where I'm surrounded by front, back, side to side houses. That's not a home. It's a house, but that's not a home. But talking more about these cities, guys, I pay attention to a lot of things, and like I said, I'm a product of the '80s, and it's just so much police. It's like sometimes it seems like it's more police than, I don't know. I don't even know. Like up and down the street. And I remember in the '80s, man, it would be like you wouldn't see a police car for like maybe every 25, 30 minutes in the '80s. Now you see a police car every 45 to 50 seconds. And every 2 minutes, some EMT is flying down the street. It's like a war zone. It's like a war zone, y'all. Sometimes I look at people's faces, guys. I start my day and I look at the faces of people like driving. Sometimes it doesn't matter really what time of day it is. And I see a lot of people crying lately. Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of women. Hey, y'all hear that, right? Didn't I say every 45, 50 seconds? It's a circus, man. Of course, you need EMT. You got all these people in here, all these different cultures, races, and background, and nobody's really giving a damn about their neighbor. It's just go get the money, y'all. That's the whole agenda of the day. Go get the money. You're not really free. I don't care. Even if you got money, you're not really free until you can get up in your day and something's not saying, gotta go get the money. Until you are released from that prison, I don't care, even if you got money, until you are released to that mental penitentiary, it's like you're still a slave. It don't matter how much money you got. It don't matter what you're doing to get the money. Until you release yourself from that kind of mental prison, you're still in the prison. That's why Tupac, one of his favorite lines is, you ain't got to be in jail to be doing time. The average inmate average person living in an apartment building these days, I say these days specifically, is really just living a little bit above an inmate. Just a little bit. You just think you got freedom because you can get in your car and circle the block a few times. And you think that's freedom. Nah. And nowadays, it's not even really worth owning your own car. You know what I mean? It's not worth owning your own car. It's like your car is becoming like a prison because of all the restrictions. In these cities, you got these things now where you got the bike lanes, and then you got the people that you got to yield from who are walking across the street. By the way, those type of things where you got to yield to people walking across the street, they need to just put up like yellow flashing signals, because sometimes you can be flying down the street at 35, even if it's like 30, 35 miles per hour. It's too many things to pay attention to. You cannot see you're trying to pay attention to the bike lane, right? Some of those bikes veer off the lane. This is why people didn't want that shit. People fought hard to try to stop those bikes from getting on roads, because a person on a bike is not going to win against a 3 to 4,000 pound vehicle. It's not. That's a no-win situation for the person on the bike. You are really putting yourself in the hands of somebody who could be distracted, somebody who could be tired, somebody who could be sick. I'm gonna talk about those bike lanes later. It shouldn't be bike lane. You shouldn't have people be trying to compromise between riding a bike in the streets. Streets were not meant for bikes. They're for cars, not bikes. I don't care how much you think it can help a situation flow smoothly, or you can help people get where they need to go. But it's never a good idea to have bikes in the roads. That's never a good idea. If you want bikes in the roads like that, you have to build like really a whole nother type of construction to keep the person on a bike safe. You see what I'm saying? It's like it's such a cognitive dissonance when it comes to a lot of jurisdictions that go on in the cities, because it's like they on the surface it looks like they're trying to keep people safe, but it's like they're actually not. Moving on. See, I heard that the EMT about 45 seconds after what I just said. I'm not in the streets right now, so we probably would have heard another one if I was in the street. I'm actually not in the streets now. In case anybody want to say, oh, another 45 seconds went by. No, I turned into a lot. Not in the streets. So it's a war zone. But yeah, I was telling y'all about how I be seeing a lot of people crying. People are miserable, guys. A lot of women crying. I can see them in their cars. People are over worked, stressed out. You're trying to get to where you're going. You're in traffic. You can't. It's just complete chaos. Everybody's worried about themselves and getting to where you're going. It's no wonder EMT is up and down. So people are more stressed out than ever before. And then you're gonna say, somebody's grand idea. Well, let's let some bike people. Let's look at this experiment. Let's put a bunch of people on bikes in the streets. Oh my God. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out, guys. I just want to tell y'all that. But yeah, people are miserable. I can see them in their cars. People are absolutely miserable. They're miserable. I'm gonna tell y'all some true shit before I go. Actually driving a car, and I learned this when I was in the chauffeur business. Driving a car is actually not, that's like something that peasants do. Like, driving a car, that's something that peasants do. When you reach a certain status, you actually not like supposed to be really driving cars. I want